Well, welcome back. With the COVID-19 vaccines being distributed now, the pandemic still isn't over, and neither is America's job crisis. Another 787,000 Americans filed for unemployment benefits last week, adjusted for seasonal changes. It was slightly fewer than expected, but nearly 4 times higher than the same period a year ago. 5.1 million filed for continued benefits, claiming assistance for their second week or more, and more than 160,000 workers filed for benefits under the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. President-elect Joe Biden is promising more pandemic relief money on the way. The $600 stimulus payments passed by Congress last month are going out now, but the higher $2,000 payments demanded by President Trump have been held up in Congress. Now that the Democrats picked up 2 additional Senate seats in the Georgia runoff, Democrats are saying the additional stimulus funds will be first on the agenda when Joe Biden is sworn in.
Because their election will put an end to the block in Washington, that $2,000 stimulus check, that money that will go out the door immediately, tell people who are in real trouble. Think about what it'll mean to your lives. Putting food on the table, paying rent, paying for your mortgage, paying down the credit card, paying the phone bill, the gas bill, the electric bill. Just look around. Millions of people in this country out of work through no fault of their own. No fault of their own.
And soon to become Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer also talked about the larger stimulus payments this week, but did not say whether they would be part of a narrow bill or part of a larger stimulus package.